This is the anthem. Here's what you came for. This is the moment. Magic was made for. Come on, let's light up the sky now. You feel the magic happening right now.
Hello there. Welcome back to Fan Fatales.
Take a ride with us on the Hogwarts Express.
Walk down Main Street with our best super pals.
And defy gravity as we talk about all things fandom.
Hello and welcome back to Fan Fatales. Hello and welcome back to Fan Fatales, a member of the Real Fans Podcast Network. I'm Emma.
And I'm Gabby, and we are finally back from our little summer vacation, which was a little longer than expected, but very much needed.
Yes.
But now we can finally talk about a series that came out over that little break. Well, I guess it wrapped up.
It started like May 27th, when was the last episode we recorded?
I don't even remember.
It was before Nashville, which was like June 17th.
So it was like the week of June 11th?
Yeah, so like pretty much right
like
around the time we stopped is when Obi-Wan came out.
Yeah.
Kenobi came out, rather.
Yeah. So it like ended around now. But yeah, we're going to talk about Kenobi as well as some wonderful ladies of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, some more underrated, not like... I know we usually talk about like Leia and Padme and Ahsoka. And like all of those ladies that are like amazing and wonderful. But we're going to talk about some of the more unspoken heroes.
Yeah. Notice how neither of us said Rey when we mentioned that?
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Or Jin. Or there's a lot of great female characters that we talk about, but there's a lot that nobody really talks about, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's the ladies I chose to include.
Yeah. Great. So,
but yeah.
Shall we get started?
Yes. I would like to say real quick though, I did talk a little bit about my opinions on Kara's podcast Generation Geek, so go listen to that episode during the break that we had. I guessed it on Kara, our lovely editor's podcast.
Yeah. So, Kenobi.
I loved it.
Thoughts?
I loved it.
I agree.
I don't want to bring up my favorite moments, like, right at the beginning.
I mean, same, but, like, also I do at the same time, so we could
just...
But
Baby Leia.
Right.
Leia.
Okay, two things. Number one, I loved her portrayal. You could absolutely see how that Leia became Carrie Fisher's Leia. 100%.
She was so good.
Second, anybody who gave her crap can go to hell.
Same with the actress who played Reva.
Yeah. Anybody who gave them any sort of crap can go to hell. Because they were great. And you know it.
Yeah. I mean, did you see all the posts that... I forget her name, the actress who played Reva. I'm going to look that up. But did you see all the hate that she... okay, that did not help me.
Yes, I did. I did see all the hate posts, and I saw everybody reacting to it and being like, this is freaking stupid, which I agree. I think Star Wars is for everybody. And anybody who disagrees is a gatekeeper. And gatekeepers, there's no room for gatekeepers. GTFO, man. Okay.
Moses Ingram.
Yes.
Is her name. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was getting death threats in her Instagram DMs
which
and stuff
is like
that.
Why? What is the purpose?
Like,
she played an amazing villain. She was a great villain.
Yes.
You know who
And can we talk about who?
I don't even know what his name is, but he was like the Grand Inquisitor, the guy who looked like he had Beats speakers for ears.
Oh, the like 7th Inquisitor, or the 5th brother, whatever his name was.
Yeah, whatever his name was. But
the guy from Rebels.
Yeah, with the Beats
The other guy
ears.
from Rebels, not the Grand...
Yeah,
not Grand Inquisitor, but the other guy.
Yes, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The gray guy with the...
I think the 5th brother is his name, because it's this...
Well, she's second sister.
Yep, fifth brother.
Okay, him. Wait. Is it him?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at a picture of him, and I'm like 99.9% sure.
But he looks like he has Beat speakers on the side of his
Yes.
head. And the whole time, I was like, why? Why?
Hold on. Kenobi and Quiz.
And everybody who I brought it up to, they were like, because it's Star Wars, those characters are designed. And I said, no, it's lazy, and it's ugly, and it's stupid looking. That's my opinion. But also, the makeup team did really good. They all looked great.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the Grand Inquisitor, the like white guy, or the gray guy?
The gray guy. The main guy. The main guy.
The main Grand Inquisitor guy?
Not like the big one, but like of the
The one that was giving her crap.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the fifth brother.
Are you sure?
Or, I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Hold on. Yes. This is the guy who I'm talking about. He's like green.
Yes.
Yes. And he has little Beat speaker ears. And ever since I saw it, I said, those are Beats. That looks like little, the little JBL clips.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Trying to think. So, yeah, I did not like him. I've never liked him, though, even in his appearances in Rebels.
Wait.
He's never...
No, it's not Fifth Brother. No.
No? Fifth brother is the Rebels guy.
No, it's the other guy. No.
The Grand Inquisitor? What are you talking about?
Jeez.
I think you're talking about the Grand Inquisitor. Like,
This
the Grand Inquisitor.
Yes, it is the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, I didn't like his transformation into live action. But yeah, I liked the Inquisitors for the most part. I mean, Vader was terrifying as always in a main trilogy movie. I mean, think of Rogue One.
Yeah. I liked him. He was good. I liked seeing Hayden Christensen as Anakin again. That was really nice.
I loved that flashback so much.
I really liked it, but he looked so old.
He did. He really did.
I get it. People age. It happens. But, I was watching this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like Steve Carell, 40-year-old version. This is like 50-year-old Padawan.
Yeah.
Which
they also brought back, the Owen and Baruch actors, right?
Which, for them, it works, though. Because,
yes.
at the end of the original, or of the prequel series, right? At the end, they're what? Our age?
Probably.
They're in their
I know that they just
20s.
got married right before Anakin comes and slaughters all the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, so they're what? 24?
At most.
It makes sense that they've aged a little bit. They look like they're okay, they're what? 24, 25, maybe 26.
We'll say.
Maybe 30 max, right?
Yes.
Probably not. But
Yeah.
in this series, it makes sense. They look like...
But yeah, for him to do a
parents of a
transition and not them to do a aging back a little bit of CGI with
Thank you.
both Hayden and
Just
Ian.
a little. Well, I think Ewan looked fine.
Yeah.
Especially once they once the beard got trimmed and it didn't look so Mountain Man. It looked nice, and it was
Yeah.
he
looked
young.
prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that man doesn't age. But
Well, that, and also, how old was Hayden when he was doing the prequels?
in his 20s.
Yeah, he's
FYI,
gonna age.
the prequels were 20 years ago.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Somebody said, I saw this post today that somebody was talking about the musical Rent. This is totally a detour. But one of the kids in the show was like, oh my gosh, I've never done a period piece before. And she was like, oh my gosh, Rent's a period piece. Because it's older than 30 years old.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I would make my director friend Jamal feel so old if I were to be able to be in his production of Rent and call it
a period piece? Yeah.
I already make him feel old. It's fine. Hey, Jamal, if you're listening.
Hey. So, yeah.
He told me he'd start listening to the show, so I don't know.
Did he? We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see.
If you do, text Emma a pancake emoji. One
Or
day,
just tell me at Legally Blonde.
no,
like,
no,
in 2
don't
weeks.
even tell her. Just send her a pancake emoji randomly one day. She's gonna get a pancake emoji. She's not gonna know why. You're gonna be like, "What the hell is this?" And he's gonna be like, "Ooh, pancake emoji," and then just like leave. Like that's it. Pancake emoji, ghost.
So, to get back into Obi-Wan, or to Kenobi, I thought it was going to be him watching over Luke. And then was very
agree.
pleasantly surprised when baby Leia showed up.
Agree.
Because obviously, like, I've read most of the books.
Yes, go ahead.
And, like, knew that Alderaan was more mountainous. And we've seen it a little bit in Clone Wars. And I was like, are we on Alderaan?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to see baby Leia? That is baby Leia.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, like, the alien servant girl.
Yeah, that was funny.
so mad.
I loved that.
I loved it, but I was so mad. Because I was like, where's baby Leia? And then
she was like, in the next scene.
Yes.
Here's my qualm
Yes.
with this show when it comes to.
I think they're making a second season.
Okay, but here's my. Hopefully, it focuses on Luke. That would be kind of cool.
That is the prediction.
But here's my qualm with this show, and this is what I had said since the very beginning, since Obi-Wan first got hired to, or not hired, but asked by Bail to go find Leia, is that in A New Hope, the first introduction we get of Leia is her talking to Obi-Wan saying, "You fought with my father in the Clone Wars."
But, like, that still works.
It does, but I feel like that's a lot less, like, descriptive and a lot less urgent than "you saved me as a child." Like what?
But also, it explains why she knew Ben Kenobi when Luke is like, I'm here with Ben Kenobi. We're here to rescue you.
My friend said the exact same thing. Someone else told me the exact same thing, that when Luke and Ben Kenobi shows up, that she gets excited, and that's why it works. And I was like, that is such a deep, random scene. Like, that is like, whoa.
It works.
You're the second person to tell me that. I don't think it does.
It works.
No, I think it doesn't make any sense. And people in the comments are probably going to be like, oh, she did it because she wanted to, like, make it as vague as possible or whatever. Like,
yeah, and because the Empire, like, heard it.
I don't know. I think it's a bunch of bull. I don't like it. I don't think we need to fill out the entire timeline between the Clone Wars and the first
A New Hope?
Yeah, yes, thank you. I don't think we need, can you tell? I'm very upset about this. I don't think we need to fill out this entire, like, 15 years, 20
19.
years.
19
years.
Because Luke and Leia are 19 in A New Hope.
Are you kidding me? What 19-year-old looks like that? Certainly not me. I didn't look like that when I was 19. I didn't even look like this when I was 19.
But they're 19.
Okay, whatever.
Also, I don't want to talk about, but I'm going to mention it, how Solo takes place a year after Kenobi.
Don't like it. Doesn't sit right.
It doesn't. I've always known that there was, like, a huge age difference between like Leia and Han.
Don't like it.
But I don't like it.
I think Solo needs to happen like 5 years after Kenobi.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Don't like it, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I guess when you're at that age, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because she's already, like, an adult by the time they meet.
By the time they meet, she's, like, what, 19? He's, like, what, 25, 27?
Yeah.
So, like, by the time they actually, like, get together, by the end, it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's better.
Yeah.
Than
He's like in his early 30s. She's like in her mid 20s.
a 10-year-old and like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. Don't like that. It's always fun to make people uncomfortable with that, though. Like, when you meet older people and you become friends with them, like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I graduated in 1995. And I'm over here like, I wasn't even born yet. They're like, ah!
Me with Jamal, because, you know, he used to be my former teacher, and now, like, I've been to the bar with him, and
Yeah.
he's like, this feels weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things like that. It's
It
really
feels
fun.
weird that you're 21. He, like, it was his 40th birthday party that I went to.
Yeah.
And he was like, it feels weird that you're 21 having a drink with me.
Yeah, exactly. Things like
You
that.
invited me.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway.
yeah. Anyway, we didn't really get much of Brea. We're going to talk more about her a little bit.
I think they made her seem kind of like a hard ass.
That's kind of how she is in the books, too.
I don't like it.
Not like a hard ass. She's more protective, and in the like profile I have later on that I'll talk about, you can kind of understand why.
Okay. You know what I loved?
Bale.
Yes, but also
Beru.
and Owen.
Yes. I am so sorry for listeners for that clap, but yes. Which, I'll just go into it now a little bit, but before anyone is like, that's so unlike them, whatever, from like the one thing we've seen of them in A New Hope.
Okay, they were in like 2 seconds of like 2 movies.
Thank you. But Beru Lars, I'm gonna read what I wrote later on, because it's not in the book I was taking all my notes from, but I knew it. So in the novel Queen's Hope, which came out earlier this year, we get more of Beru's story, and it talks about how on a supply run in Mos Espa, Beru stopped at Watto's junk shop to have her portable nav fixed. There she met Watto's, at the time, slave, Shmi Skywalker, who fixed her device for cheap, and then sometime later, Beru, who at the time was Beru Whitesun, introduced Shmi to Klieg Lars, who shortly freed and married Shmi Skywalker, and then Beru assisted Shmi Skywalker with locating and deprogramming the chips of former slaves, including Shmi.
That's pretty cool.
Like, it's pretty badass, let's
Yeah.
be honest here.
Yeah. Like I said, she was literally in like 2 seconds of 2 movies. She's all, Luke,
Yes.
come inside. And he's like, I was going to go to Tashi Station to get power converters. And like, that's it.
Yes. But, like, I love her so much, and I'm so glad that we're finally getting more of her story than just, like, the 5 seconds we've seen of her
Me
in
too.
other things.
And I love
And
that,
it makes
like,
me happy.
I love that, like, Owen came home and was like, get ready, it's happening. And she's like, okay. And she was like, rah, getting everything together. And then, like,
I know. I love her.
And then, like, Reva was, like, right there, and she was like, no. You know what it gave me? It gave me Molly Weasley energy when she does the, no,
She is such a Molly Weasley.
you know?
She is literally such a Molly Weasley.
Absolutely. She radiates Molly Weasley energy. And I
Yes.
love it. In, like, a good way.
Yes. I love her.
Yeah, me too.
I
So-
will say that, like, every, like, Obi-Wan talking about Padme or Anakin to baby Leia scene just sob.
Yeah, broke my heart.
Tears.
When she's like, you knew my mother,
especially
didn't you?
Especially the last one where he was, like, listing, like, the attributes she got from each parent.
I sobbed.
I was so sad. Like, I understand. So, when the first 2 episodes came out, I got sick because it was the week after MegaCon, which everyone got sick who went to MegaCon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know a single person that went to MegaCon and didn't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lying in my bed watching Obi-Wan, just sobbing, you know, because I'm sick and
You were sick.
watching this show.
When I watched it, I was hungover. I was like, oh, I feel like crap. And I just laid on the couch all day and cried. And it was super cathartic. I ate soup that day. Even though it was like 1,000,000 degrees outside, I ate soup.
Yeah, I watched that, and I think Miss Marvel. And also that stupid Chip and Dale movie. I'm still mad about that Chip and Dale movie. It's fine.
I heard it was like Discount Roger Rabbit.
That's not why I'm upset at it.
Okay. We'll talk about that another time. But, okay.
Yeah.
I noticed.
I talked about my opinions on it on Kara's show a little bit.
Got it. I noticed something while watching the final battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed this. Obi-Wan breaks one half of Vader's mask.
And Ahsoka breaks the other half.
Yeah. Come on, man. I was going to say it all nice and dramatic and be like, bah, 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 and you were... You beat me to the punch. I'm even wearing my Ahsoka shirt because of that.
I know you are. Yeah. That broke my heart. Because I realized it as I was watching it. Because I was like... Tears.
Yeah.
Also, Darth Vader says that I killed Anakin Skywalker. When, Obi-Wan, the whole thing is like, I was the one who killed Anakin Skywalker. But then Vader's like, no, I killed Anakin.
Yeah.
So then we get the whole A New Hope thing, like,
I killed your
Darth
father.
Vader killed Anakin.
Yeah.
That Obi-Wan says.
Yeah. And that
But yeah.
he says.
And that he says. But
Yeah.
Obi-Wan says to Luke.
Yeah. No. All I can think of now is that, no, that's not true. That's impossible.
Also, can we talk about how Quinlan Vos was, like, named? Who? Is what you're about to say? So he's from Clone Wars. I forget what episode he's from, but he's from a couple of them. And he goes on a mission with Obi-Wan. And when they're in that, like, underground, like, Jedi savior thing to get Leia off-world, they mention, Quinlan was here.
I kind of remember this. I kind of remember him now.
Quinlan Vos, who was, like, the, like, dreadlock-looking Jedi dude.
Oh! Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, now I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about, but all I can picture is Kit Fisto, but I know who you're talking about. I know it's not Kit Fisto. I know who you're talking about.
No. Here, I'm pulling up a picture. Him.
Yes, that's who I was thinking.
But yeah, Obi-Wan, like, looks at what's-her-face and goes, Quinlan was here.
Yeah.
And I was like, which means, like, we know another, like, I don't want to say prominent Jedi, but, like, a named Jedi from Clone Wars that survived.
Yeah.
Order 66.
So we got, for sure, Ahsoka.
Obi-Wan.
Ahsoka.
Yoda. Quinlan. Caleb/Kanan.
Yeah.
Cal Kestis.
Yep.
Makes me happy.
That's like a good 7.
6.
6. No, 7.
Yoda, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Quinlan, Caleb/Kanan,
And Cal.
and Cal.
I didn't get my thumb.
You're doing great, guys.
Can you tell I've had a really long day? It has been such a long day.
It's been such a long week. It's only
Wednesday.
Oh, Kara just texted me.
No.
Oh, she sent me a TikTok. That's what she texted me. Oh, yeah, I'm not posting the video of this.
Oh,
not
heck
gonna lie.
no.
I haven't washed my hair in like 3 days. It's fine.
Well, I just washed my hair the other day and it actually looks pretty nice, but...
Yeah, it's fine. I'm trying to think.
Let's see, what else?
Qui-Gon. The, like, 5 seconds we got of Qui-Gon.
I sobbed, and then I looked at him and I said, that man never ages. He has not aged
No.
a single
I love
day.
Liam Neeson. I love Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson has not aged one bit. I looked at him, I was like...
I may not like one of Liam Neeson's former co-stars right now. It's fine. I'm not going to get into it. Which to say I'm not a huge fan of William Moseley, who plays Peter in Narnia right now. It's fine. He may have lied about the Netflix Narnia thing starting at a different point than what we've been told by Netflix. to, like, mess with fans recently.
Okay.
And I'm not real happy with it, because I'm now confused.
Dude, are you kidding me? I've been so confused about the whole Funny Girl thing for, like, weeks.
Good for you. You're talking about the fandom news for Funny Girl.
Oh, we'll get there. But, anyway. Yeah, Liam Neeson, not aged a single day. He
I
looks
love him.
exactly the same as he did 20
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
Good for him.
I loved that moment so much.
I did too. And then where he was all, where to next, master? I was like, ah!
I know.
Literally, live footage of me crying on the couch.
Hope that we get a season 2 with.
I think I'd be okay with no season 2.
I'd be okay with no season 2, but if we do, I hope we get more with Qui-Gon.
Maybe.
And more with Luke, because it was, like,
2 seconds.
advertised as, like, a Luke show, right? Like, we didn't get a young Leia casting at all.
I don't think it was advertised as like a Luke show. I think it was advertised as Obi-Wan. I didn't see anything.
No, but we got, like, a bunch of, like, oh, Luke's gonna be in it, Luke's gonna be in it. And then they're like, ha,
Misdirection.
Leia's in it.
I mean, they didn't technically lie. Luke is in it.
Yeah,
For all of, like, 30 seconds, he has all of, like, 2 lines, but...
Yeah.
And I desperately wanted him to talk about Tashi stationing a power converters.
I wouldn't mind them aging up the show a little bit.
Maybe, like, just
Like,
3
a
episodes.
year or 2. Yeah. But getting more of, like, Obi-Wan on Tatooine.
Eh,
I don't know.
I'd be okay without it, I think.
I'd be okay without it, but if they're going to do it, you know?
Yeah. I just worry that, like, if we fill in, like...
Too much, it's
much.
gonna, like, overwhelm.
Yeah, that not only is it going to overwhelm, but it's also going to be, like, there's so much overlapping. Then it's like, okay, what's actually canon and what got retconned, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Because we've already gotten some stuff retconned.
yeah, like, some of the stuff from Rebels has already been retconned, and it's like, what?
Not really.
I thought I saw a post about it. Was it Rebels? It might have been something else.
It was early on when we thought that they killed off the Grand Inquisitor, then it was retconned, but there was nothing in Rebels that was retconned now.
Okay, well. Anyway.
Because Obi-Wan still, like, he will have... how much of Rebels have you seen?
Honestly, not much. So.
Okay, there is an Obi-Wan episode of Rebels,
Okay.
and it hasn't been retconned.
Okay.
I know that much because it has to do with Darth Maul.
Okay.
And we got nothing of Maul in this show.
That's true. Which, honestly, good.
So, yeah, I agree.
I've had enough of him.
I have too.
Let's get some more cool villains in there. Like Reva. I liked her. I thought she was good.
I did
I
too.
thought she was scary. I thought she was badass. I liked her.
Can we get a Reva show instead of a second season of Obi-Wan?
I like it. And it's
Can
just
we?
her,
Please.
her destroying the Empire from the inside out. Newly turned spy.
I love her. I love her so much.
Speaking of rebel spies, I loved. Oh my gosh, what was her name?
The Jedi lady.
Yes.
I know who you're talking about. The lady I, like, completely forgot the name of earlier.
Who I loved.
Yes.
But yeah, I think
Kenobi.
they could, like, have a show with just them. Well, she already died, but, ooh, spoiler.
Yeah, she
died.
did.
But,
This is a spoiler-full episode, let's be honest,
Yeah, I guess
if we're
you're
talking about Kenobi.
yeah, I guess you're right. But
They
they need an episode. They need a series of Reva, like, destroying the Order from the inside out. I think that would be badass. Obviously, she doesn't do it, but, like, trying to.
Yeah.
Climbing the
Sorry,
ranks.
I'm trying to find the girl's name. It's not working. Hold on. Kenobi show female Jedi.
Just look up cast.
That's too much work. I love how I'm saying that going on IMDb. Tala.
Yes, her.
Her.
I like her a lot.
I do too. I loved Bill. I loved seeing him on screen again.
Yeah. He also looked old.
Yeah.
But not as old as Anakin, which is where I'm like,
He was in the Heights movie recently.
he was?
Yeah, he was Kevin Rosario. In the Heights movie.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think that makes me want to see the movie less.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't know how I'd feel about seeing Bail Organa.
Bail Organa. It's Kevin Rosario.
It's like it's really hard for me to watch Moulin Rouge.
I honestly same, but like he was real good in the Heights. Not gonna lie, he is probably one of the better performances. I'd say.
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm usually not a fan of Kevin Rosario as a character.
I always skip over his song. I don't like.
I don't think they even put his song in.
They didn't.
No.
For time, because it doesn't do anything for the story at all. It's literally just to give the other actors a break. It gives you a little bit of an idea into his mindset.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
But yeah, I mean, he was in Rogue One in 2016, and he didn't look that bad.
No, he didn't look that bad in Rogue One. I'm saying he looked old now.
I know, but Rogue One was in like 2016. It wasn't that long ago.
It was like
Did
5
they
years
de-age?
ago.
That's still not that long ago.
5 years
though.
is a long time. Okay, the difference between 10 and 15 is huge.
True.
I mean, when you're looking at the difference between 20 and 25, okay, maybe.
Yes.
But like, okay, the difference between 45 and 50 is like, whoo. Mm-hmm. That's like kind of a big deal. 45 is like, eh. And then 50 is like, whoa. Yeah. Halfway through your life,
True.
you know? Maybe. Might have already passed halfway
Maybe.
through your life. You know, some people have their midlife crisis at like
At
37.
Dale in Brea.
Huh?
Dale in Brea for dying on Alderaan at like what? 40s, 50s?
Okay, let's just assume that in this series they're like in their 40s. They look like they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was at least 30 when Padme was like 17.
Yeah.
So
that means that they died at 49. If we're assuming that they're 40 in this show. Because we're 9 years from
yeah.
A New Hope.
That's sad. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, I loved all the scenes on Alderaan, but I was also like, wow, this planet gets blown up in like 9 years. Which was also me reading the Leia book, which is 16-year-old Leia. I was like, wow, this planet blows up in like 3 years.
That is so not what I was thinking about.
I was like, this is such a gorgeous planet for it to be blown up in like 3 years.
That's not something to be laughing about, but it's just like, what the heck? I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Wow, those trees are so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love Lola. Like,
I love Lola. Hold up, we haven't talked about Lola.
So yes, we love Lola. She's adorable.
Yes, I love Lola.
Okay, so you know when they have Leia captured and she's like at the base or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's like, help me, somebody come help me, like, you know, screaming.
Yeah.
My parents like looked at the TV and they looked at me and they were like, what are you watching? I was like, Star Wars, and they go, oh. They were like, this is not the Star Wars we remember. And I was like, no, it's the new series. And they were like, okay.
Were you like, that's baby Leia?
Yeah, I did. He was like, who is that? And I was like, this Leia. And my dad was like, weird. And he walked away.
My dad like has been watching the show so my dad started the show probably 2 weeks after it started. So, like, was watching it with me and was like, wow, they really didn't know how to film her running, did they? That was my dad's, like, one comment about Leia.
I love your dad.
Oh, he's great. He's been out of town for, like, the past, like, week, and it's been sad because I haven't gotten, like, quippy comments from him.
I love your dad. I, like, so badly just want to sit down and, like, have a conversation with him for, like, a good hour.
We could do a whole Halloween episode with my dad for, like, an hour.
Or he would just gush about Halloween.
Yeah.
And then
I can probably talk him into it,
and then
not
I can
gonna
say
lie.
that I think the movies are lame, and then he'll get mad at me. And I don't...
Maybe then we don't have you on a Halloween episode.
Also, I'll be in Mexico on Halloween.
On Halloween?
On Halloween.
So we have to film Halloween early.
We always do.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Mexico on Halloween.
Ugh. So any final thoughts about Kenobi?
I think there's a few plot holes in terms of how this connects to A New Hope, and I want them to clear them up in the next season.
Yeah.
Leia needs to, get something to happen to her where she kind of forgets. I don't know.
Either that or, like, again, if she didn't want it to be intercepted and, like, get Kenobi in trouble
I don't know.
for helping her earlier.
I don't like it. I think it's lazy writing.
I don't know.
And I think it turns a cinematic masterpiece into just, like, convenience.
Yeah.
Like, it's not enhancing it. It's just making it like, oh, this is
I
how
want
it fits
them-
together.
Because the Leia book is my favorite of the novels that we've gotten. I want them to make the, like, Leia book from when she's, like, 16 into a show or movie.
That I would watch.
I...
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Show called Twin Sons, and it follows
And it's
Luke
16-year-old Luke
and
and
Leia.
Leia.
Yes.
Yeah, because in Leia, Princess of Alderaan, which we'll talk about a little bit later when we get to Brea's whole thing, takes place when Leia's finding out about her parents' involvement in the rebellion.
Okay.
And it's, like, really cool because she's like, I want to help fight. And her parents are like, no, you are 16.
So?
And then she's like, so, and then goes on missions and, like, kind of ruins things for the rebellion. And then her parents, and then Mon Mothma's like, I'll take you along. I'll show you how to be a proper rebel leader. And then Bail's like, I guess I kind of have to make you a rebel leader now.
Just shrug.
Yeah. Which is, and then it leads into A New Hope that way because we've seen her fight.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited. So, speaking about these women of the galaxy, I have this book. It is actually called Women of the Galaxy, and it was written by Amy Ratcliffe, and it has artwork of 18 female artists, and it includes profiles of 75 characters, including those from the original, like, trilogies, all of the trilogies and movies and series that have come out by 2018. And I figured we'd go through some of the profiles of characters and stories that we don't talk about as much, like Beru Lars and Brea Organa, and R2KT and Jocasta Nu, because I love Jocasta Nu.
I also love R2KT, though.
I was like, we kind of have to include her story
And
if we're going to talk about the underrated ladies.
I cried reading it. I was like going through the notes
Have
earlier
you-
today, and I just like
Oh my god, it's
cried.
it's sad.
It's sad. Should we start with that?
Sure.
start-
I kind of wrote them in alphabetical order because this book is in alphabetical order, as you saw in the table of contents I had sent you.
Yeah. Do we start sad or do we end sad? Or happy, happy, sad, happy, happy. Ow, I hit my elbow.
There's like two sad ones because we also talked about Satine a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
And Shmi.
They're all kind of sad, let's be honest.
Yeah, let's just start with R2KT because we've kind of talked about her a little bit.
Okay.
So R2KT is a pink astromech droid that was inspired by a real-life creation designed by the R2D2 Builders Club. For those of you who do not know, they're kind of like the 501st Legion or the Rebel Legion that, like, they make R2 units for charity events.
Yeah, and they're awesome.
They're so awesome.
And they're
one of
fully
them
functioning and everything.
Yeah, they had like a whole group of them over at MegaCon when I went.
Mm-hmm.
They had like everyone from Chopper to R2 to 3PO.
Yeah, and they're awesome.
And everything in between. And they were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it like on each card by their droid, it showed how many years it took them to make them.
I don't even want to know.
It's like 3 years.
Yeah.
For some of them.
Yeah.
And like a year and a half for like some of them.
Yeah.
It just depended.
Seriously, guys, go check them out online. The R2D2
They're
Builders
amazing.
Club. They're awesome.
But they had constructed R2KT for Katie Johnston, who was a young girl diagnosed with terminal brain cancer who wished she had a droid to watch over her, just as R2D2 watches over Padme Amidala in Attack of the Clones.
I'm like actually gonna cry right now. This is really sad.
And since Katie loves the color pink, the builders made a special pastel pink astromech for her, and R2KT stayed by Katie's side through her last days.
Which is why she's named R2KT for
Yes.
Katie.
Yeah. And then R2KT joined the galaxy on screen in the animated feature Star Wars The Clone Wars, which was the movie, as one of the droids serving in the 501st Legion, which was fitting because Katie's father, Albin, is the founder of the 501st Legion fan group.
No!
Yeah.
Wow!
And then after loyally serving the Republic and characters such as Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars, R2KT continues to serve galactic good as part of the Resistance and can be spotted in The Force Awakens. And I just love that story so much of R2KT.
It gives me chills and, like, also tears.
It shows how good the fandom can be.
Yeah. I mean, like...
Because again, like, her father is the founder of 501st, who is, like, they're known for their hospital trips for kids.
Yeah. And we've talked about some of the more negative sides of the fandom, so I think it's really nice that we get to talk about something that's really positive and that how wonderful the community really is when we can come together around something like this, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, like, this story has always touched my heart because I found out about it when reading this book, and I think I got this book last Christmas, like 2021 Christmas. Mm-hmm. And it was one of the first stories that caught my eye. It's like, Ahsoka's in the book, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know Ahsoka's story, because it kind of like, as you'll see, because most of these are like word for word what the book says. Mm-hmm. Except for Beru, which I put in the little story I already mentioned.
Yeah.
But this is like word for word what the story or the book says, and I was like, we know Ahsoka. I know Ahsoka's story. I could probably tell what's in this book.
Yeah.
By heart. But like R2KT and some of the more underrated women, like Jocasta Nu, that we'll talk about a little bit later, I didn't know their story until reading this book.
Yeah.
I really suggest this book for any female fan of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Or just
I think I've gotten it, or any fan, period. But like, I got this book for my, I don't want to call her my baby cousin, but my little cousin Avery, who's like 12 now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got this book for her because she's a Star Wars fan, and I wanted her to know more about these badass women that, like, sure, we have Leia and Padme and Jen and Rey and Ahsoka on screen, and they have some of the longer pages in this book.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, because they have more story to them. But, like, I don't know, characters like R2KT and Jocasta Nu, and I'm trying to think of others off the top of my head, and I don't have the book near me, but, like, Ayla Secura and all them that have, like, one page compared to the 4 pages that the main women have. Mm-hmm. It's been so interesting to read their stories and kind of delve deeper.
That's really cool. Plus, like, who doesn't love a good coffee table book, am I right?
It's such a good coffee table book. And the artwork is gorgeous.
Here's the thing.
I would do, like, a whole Archive Sunday version of the artwork
That's cool.
in this book.
I have a problem with coffee table books. I will pick them up and I will buy them and then I will never look at them again.
But Women of Star Wars, that book, I've read multiple times at this point.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to buy coffee table books anymore because they just sit there and nobody ever touches them. So I'm not allowed to have them anymore.
So who do we want to do next?
I mean, we already talked about Beru a little bit, so like let's
should we finish Beru's
Yeah.
story? Okay.
So
I've already talked about her thing in Queen's Hope, so we don't have to talk about that.
yeah.
again.
But Beru, White's son Lars, is first introduced to fans as Aunt Beru, also known as the woman pouring the blue milk in A New Hope.
I loved that sentence so much
That is
from the book.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows her as Aunt Beru.
But, like, also, like, she is the woman who's pouring blue milk for everyone.
This is true.
In A New Hope.
But as the adoptive mother of Luke Skywalker, she helps to raise the farm boy turned hero for 19 years, supporting his hopes and dreams, and particularly advocating that he be allowed to attend the Imperial Academy rather than spend endless seasons on the Lars's moisture farm. I hate that word.
Lars's?
No, moisture.
Or moisture.
I hate that word.
Yeah.
It's a terrible word.
I find it interesting that she was so, like, vocal about him joining the, like, Imperial Academy and getting off of Tatooine, unlike her husband.
I think she wanted him to have a better life than they had. Than
Yeah.
his dad had. She didn't want him to turn into his father, and she knew what he was.
Oh, yeah.
And she knows that, like, staying in an environment where you're unhappy and, like, it's a hostile environment, like, that breeds resentment. And she's a smart lady.
She is.
Beru also had dreams of her own, however. Her cooking class teacher compliments her work, a blue milk cheese, saying that it's the best he's ever tasted, and she strongly considers opening a cafe of her own in nearby Anchorhead. Oh my god, that's so cute!
But she gives it up after adopting Luke. But before adopting Luke, she and Owen wanted to have children of their own. But obviously, with the arrival of the young Skywalker, she becomes dedicated to their new family and keeping Luke safe from the perils of Tatooine and his true father, Anakin/Vader. Bonnie Pease, who played young Beru Lars, she stated after getting cast, quote, "I watched the scenes with Beru from A New Hope over and over until I felt I had a good sense of the character's nature. She seems very kind, grounded, and loving to me. So that's what I tried to bring to the role. I also felt that, as I was playing her when she was younger, I wanted to bring in a little shyness."
And I feel like that totally comes through, especially in Kenobi. Like, yeah, she's
Yeah.
a badass, but you also get this, like, mother nurturing role from her, which
Again, the Molly Weasley.
Yeah. Like,
Again, the mothers of Harry Potter are just, like, such badass, but, like,
they're, like,
grounded
on another
and-
level badass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to bring too much Harry Potter into it, but Molly Weasley, Lily Evans, Nymphadora Tonks, Narcissa Malfoy, Andromeda Tonks, a little bit. All of them are such strong women that, like, they're strong in them being grounded and them being just loving mothers and protecting their kid.
Even Fleur Delacour, like, it was her sister, but still, she was, like, motherly towards her sister. Anyway, moving on to our next lovely lady, who we've also talked about a little bit, Miss Brea Organa.
I love her. Brea Organa, a leader, an astute politician, and benevolent teacher. Queen Brea Organa of Alderaan assumes another important role when she and her husband Bail commit themselves to caring for the orphaned infant Leia in the closing moments of Revenge of the Sith.
Notice how we have the two adopted mothers of the twins, like, first?
Well, the book is in
Alphabetical order, I know. But, like, still.
Yeah. She and Bail always wanted to have a girl, and Brea opens her soul to Leia, loving her as her own and making her heir to the Alderaan throne.
Which you can absolutely
And Brea
see.
And Brea takes a hands-on approach to her royal duties in mentoring, promising young people in their world's peaceful and democratic heritage. But She's also a fighter. What?
Where are you reading this? Oh, I see it now.
But Brea's also a fighter, a strength she displays after surviving severe injuries during a series of personal challenges undertaken by all heirs of the Alderanian throne. So we see this a little bit in Leia, Princess of Alderaan, where when they turn 16, they have to undergo like a challenge of the heart, the brain, and the body.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think Leia's is like a diplomatic mission to like give someone whatever. Leading, I forget what her diplomatic mission was supposed to do. It fails. That's all that matters in that book. But then her mind one was to serve on the Imperial Academy, and then her body was to climb like the highest mountain on Alderaan.
Mm-hmm.
But Brea's heart and lungs are mechanized as a result, and rather than hiding the glow of those pulmonoids, I'm gonna guess is how you pronounce it, she allows them to remain visible as a reminder of how valuable life is. And how valuable life is something that Rhea keeps in mind as she and Bail begin to meet with others in secret opposition to the Empire, with Brea cleverly bringing together key architects of the Rebel Alliance under the guise of royal banquets.
Which is genius.
Oh, it's so genius. I love her so much. And she understands the risk to herself and others if they were to be found out of aiding the Rebel Alliance. And when a teenage Leia expresses concern about the stakes of rebelling and the lives that could be lost, Rhea advises, quote, "When it comes to the morality of what we may have to do, we have to find our way through many shadows," end quote.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love. I like Brea better in Leia, Princess of Alderaan, for the moments we get with her and Leia, like, alone, just the two of them, more than I did in her with Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
But we also didn't really get that many moments of her in Kenobi.
Not really at all.
So, yeah. And as I've stated multiple times, Brea's background and role in beginning the Rebel Alliance is explored in Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and the author Claudia Gray stated, quote, It was especially great to write Brea. I figured Leia wasn't raised by a woman who was some sort of shy, retiring, passive creature. So it was a real honor to breathe some life into the last Queen of Alderaan," end quote.
Yeah, I feel like you could really see that, at least in the like little bit of her that we get in Kenobi.
Yeah.
So
she's not like this, I don't want to say traditional queen, but like,
she's not a just sit around and do nothing type person.
yes. She isn't as like, I don't want to say like as like rebellious as her husband, but she definitely works in secret.
I think she's strategic.
Yeah, she's more strategic than Bail. Let's be honest.
He's very
here.
impulsive, and she's like, he's not as impulsive
He's not
as Anakin,
impulsive.
but he's
But
like he's a guy.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, she thinks about things and like plans it, and you can see where she's coming from.
So should we
jump
do
to one of
Satine?
one of my faves, one of my babes.
Okay,
I loved her since the
you can do
beginning.
Satine.
So we're gonna talk about
Satine?
I was saying her last name and her first name at the same time. I was gonna come out Kristen.
Satine Kryze?
Yes, Satine Kryze.
Okay, you can read Satine Kryze.
So as Mandalore's latest civil war ends, she sees the culture's warrior past as the root of its problems, and she rebuilds the entire government upon the nonviolent principles of the new Mandalorians. What follows are assassination attempts, another civil war, and the rise of a violent insurgent group called the Death Watch, of which Satine's own sister, Bo-Katan, is a member. But Satine remains convinced, I can read. Satine remains convinced throughout that these new rules are Mandalore's only hope for a future, which we see very clearly in the whole Mandalore arc of Clone Wars, which made me fall in love with her.
Yeah.
Also, Corky Kenobi, fight me.
I was just about to say that, not gonna lie.
Anybody who disagrees,
especially with this next sentence that you're about to read, where it mentions Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because like as we
she mentions Obi-Wan in a couple of times in this thing, but,
because they're lovers.
Yeah.
As we learn in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Satine keeps Mandalore neutral in the conflict despite her complicated past with the Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi and her friendship with Senator Padme Amidala. She and Padme are besties.
Oh, yeah.
She and Padme are besties, and she and Obi-Wan, they be hooking up.
And they be having a child.
Named Corky.
Named Corky.
Yes.
I love when we don't record episodes for a while and then come back and it's just this energy.
Yeah, we got some real energy. So she leads her people through numerous hardships, such as the corruption of their prime minister and the influence of a dangerous black market. And she's also able to do so in part because she raises an eyebrow at everything happening around her. Smart lady. She knows.
Yes.
Question everything. Crime junkie, rule number, I don't even know. You never really know anybody ever. She knows.
Yeah.
She's a crime junkie.
Yeah.
So when Obi-Wan tries to argue in favor of the Jedi's role in the Clone Wars, she observes archly, quote, "The work of a peacekeeper is to make sure that conflict does not arise," end quote. Which is like genius. I love her.
I love her.
So Anna Graves voiced Satine, quote, "A Spitfire lady with a lot of gumption. I admire Satine's passion, and she clearly cares for the people of Mandalore and their future. The fact that she was brave enough to introduce new ideas of pacifism to a system whose history is based on being warriors shows she's willing to do anything to keep Mandalore safe from the Republic's growing power. I also love that she does not hide away her passion for Obi-Wan. He has been an important part of her past, and she does not forget that. Even when she tries to, she just can't forget. Because they have a child together."
Yes. I swear, I thought that we were finally going to get that answered in Kenobi, and I'm so mad that we didn't.
Season 2!
Not gonna lie. Season 2, can we get Corky Kenobi
Confirmed.
Yes.
Please. Literally. If, like, he just, like, passively was just like, "Oh, yeah, I have a son," in passing. Like, that's all we need. That's all we need. Like I had a son once. Like, that's all we need.
Because I don't know if I've talked about it on this show, but but the Clone Wars panel that I went to at MegaCon, it had James Arnold Taylor, Ashley Eckstein, and Matt Lanter. Mm-hmm. So Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin. And one of the questions that one of the audience members asked was, what would Anakin and Ahsoka's reaction be to Corky Kenobi? And I remember James Arnold Taylor going, "Oh my," and like his Obi-Wan voice.
Yeah.
And Ashley Eckstein said, "I know," just like how she did when Anakin was like, "I wanted to lead the Order." Like that, I know.
Yeah.
She did that same "I know" to Corky Kenobi. And then Matt Lanter stands up. And it's like one of my visual memories from that panel. He stands up and goes, "The whole time? The whole time?"
Yeah.
Just yelling at James Arnold Taylor.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Absolutely yes.
Corky Kenobi exists, and the Clone Wars actors agree.
Yes, 100%.
So
that's that.
we'll end with the Chosen One's mother. How about that?
Okay.
So I can talk about Jocasta Nu real quick.
Go ahead.
So Jocasta Nu, she is the chief librarian of the archives in the Jedi Temple, and she spends most of her time managing holocrons, data files, and books, and she helps Jedi of all levels learn, including Obi-Wan Kenobi in Attack of the Clones. Gaby.
Okay. We got in a discussion about this before we started this episode, because I was like, I don't even remember who this is. And she was like, "She helps Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So
and I was like,
when Obi-Wan is trying to find when he's trying to find the planet of Kamino, based on the information of Dexter Jetzer, the diner guy, she's the one that helps him in the library.
Okay. I vaguely remember this.
That is her.
Yeah,
helping
yeah.
him.
I know. I know who she is.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But
I don't
anyway.
really remember her in that movie. She was in it for like 2 seconds. I didn't even know her
Yes.
name.
Jocasta Nu. I love her. Force sensitive and a Jedi, Jocasta Nu will find ever more dangerous circumstances in which she must defend and help the Jedi knowledge. In the Clone Wars, she is attacked by Claudite shapeshifter Cato Parasiti, who is on a mission to steal a holocron.
That I remember. I remember.
And then later, so she's another Jedi that survives Order 66.
There we go. Up to 7.
Yeah. And she preserves all of the Jedi, knowledge of the Jedi Order that she can in hopes of one day beginning anew. Obviously, we see that with Rey, but she doesn't know that. Because in Marvel's 2017 Darth Vader comic, we see her return to a ruined archive seeking a holocron with details about Force-sensitive children. She is there, met with Vader, and is killed off. Not like she gives a fight, but she ends up getting killed off by Vader.
I mean, everybody eventually does.
Yeah.
Even Vader himself.
Yeah. But I think she's met first with the Grand Inquisitor, and she like sees him throwing around her books, and she's like, "Not my books.
Not my
You
books,
are not
you
hoodie."
bitch.
No, she literally says, "Get your filthy hands off my books."
That's a fat mood.
To the Grand Inquisitor.
That's like a fat mood, though.
I love her. Again, obviously, she ends up losing the battle to the Grand Inquisitor and then is taken to Vader and is killed.
Big sad.
But, like, she doesn't die without, like, giving a fight for, like, the knowledge of the Jedi to survive.
Yeah.
Which, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have Luke reading the Jedi text and starting the Jedi Temple anew. Obviously, he ends that with Kylo, or Ben Solo, very shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
But then Rey wouldn't have the knowledge of the Jedi of the past
This is true.
to start her own temple. So, like, without Jocasta Nu, we don't get the Jedi Temple really surviving post
Okay.
Order 66.
Every time I think
Let's
of
be honest
Luke in
here.
the Jedi Temple, all I can think of is when he's standing there and, like, Force Ghost Yoda has, like, burned the place down. And it's that meme. It's like the Burning Elmo meme, but with Yoda.
I know exactly what meme you're talking about.
That's all I can think of when I think of, like, Luke, Jedi Temple, Burning Yoda meme. Like, that's how my brain works.
Yes. So, shall we end our little talk about the women of the galaxy with the mother of the chosen one?
I think
herself?
is honestly one of the most underrated characters.
Same.
Even more underrated than Satine. Also, really quick, I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Satine. Ewan McGregor has 2 love interests in 2 different franchises named Satine.
I know. I feel like we talked about it before on the show,
We
though.
might have, but he
I
does.
didn't
In
even bring
Moulin
it up.
Rouge, her name is Satine.
Yeah, Moulin Rouge, her name is Satine, and the Clone Wars actors, they were asked, or not the Clone Wars actors, but the Clone Wars creatives like Dave Filoni, were asked in a panel at one Star Wars Celebration, not this most recent one, but like one in the past, if they did that on purpose, and he went, I didn't even know that he played a character, or he had a character, like, not in that movie, but like a character named Satine as a former love interest in another movie.
Oh.
And he was just like, I just chose the name because I liked it.
Interesting.
And then it turned out to be the same name as
Satine.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would absolutely name a kid Satine. I think that is a very pretty name.
I like it a lot. I don't know if I name a kid that, but I like it a lot.
Better than Shmi.
But anyway, Shmi Skywalker is the mother of Anakin Skywalker, and she must say goodbye to her young son so he can fulfill his destiny and have a better life than she can provide. She gives him into the care of Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, even though she knows she may never see her son again.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, it might be best for Anakin if she doesn't. And as Anakin begins to leave, he returns to his mother and promises to come back and save her. She offers words of reassurance, but she also knows that he must be free to live his own life. Be brave, she says. Quote, don't look back, don't look back. End quote. Shmi's life is one of hardship from the beginning. After her parents are captured by pirates, she is forced into slavery at a young age, first to Gardella the Hutt, and then to junk boss Watto.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't succumb to despair and is able to maintain a courageous core optimism, instilling in her son values of compassion, kindness, and the necessity to help others. We see that a lot in Phantom Menace also, because doesn't he be like, you say the one problem with this galaxy, or the biggest problem with this galaxy is no one helping out each other,
nobody
or whatever
helps each
he
other
says.
or whatever. And then that's why he starts making C-3PO.
Yeah, 3PO.
Yeah, to help her out.
Which I love.
Which for a 10-year-old,
but Shmi
that's pretty impressive.
is so smart. I love him. We don't see Luke doing that at 10 years old. Maybe Leia.
He was playing.
But not
he
Luke.
was playing with a toy.
With the little droid the toy that Obi-Wan gave him.
Yeah, the little plane toy. Or the ship toy, or whatever it is.
Yeah. But Shmi is strength personified. Her mettle isn't tested on the battlefield. Instead, it's proven through her love of Anakin.
Absolute facts.
And Pernilla August, who is the actress who played Shmi, she talks about how she was nervous to play the role of Shmi Skywalker in Phantom Menace because it was her first English-speaking role in a film. But she did it anyway. She's a Swedish actor, for those of you who do not know.
I did not know.
And Phantom Menace was her first English-speaking role.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
And Pernilla August says that she can relate to Shmi, quote, it's a beautiful part. I love it very much. It's so warm. I feel very familiar about it because I have 3 kids myself. She's very brave in a way to let him go. She really does believe in him and that he's going to take his responsibility for his life, end quote.
And I mean, he does.
Yeah.
After,
I
murdering a lot of people.
love Shmi so much.
Also,
I would love a Shmi story.
I agree. Also, I saw this thing that most people probably have already seen, but we haven't talked about it yet. That
Okay.
They say that Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force, and
Yes.
he was a Jedi from the time he was 10. No, sorry. Yes, he was a Jedi from till he was 23. Right? He became Darth Vader at 23. And then he died at 56. 23 years in the light, 23 years in the dark. It blew my mind. I saw that a few months ago.
I love that. But yeah, again, we talk about the fighters of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Padme, Leia, Jyn, Rey.
But we never talked
Ahsoka.
about she gave up pretty much everything. Her entire
For her
world.
son.
For her son. Her son was her entire world, right? Her whole life. She was fighting for him.
Just like Beru and Brea, let's be honest, for their adopted kids,
Yeah,
not
they're-
even their own
exactly.
flesh and blood. And yes, we talked about Jocasta Nu and Satine and R2 Katie. But all these ladies are badass in their own way.
I think it just goes to show there's not just one way to be a fighter, and there's not just one way to be strong.
Yeah. I would love to do more of this Women of the Galaxy book, anytime we bring up Star Wars and just talk about another random person.
I agree.
Because this book, I wish I brought it downstairs with me when I went to go record, because I would have showed you the artwork. It is gorgeous. They make a calendar with the artwork from this book.
Is that calendar that you have on your wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one from this year, but the one from last year.
You showed me.
It's so pretty.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
So.
I really liked the Beru artwork. I'll have to post it on the Instagram story.
Let's just post it.
But
on
it's her
Instagram.
holding a baby Luke. It was so
That
cute.
sounds really cute.
And Brea's was her blue dress from I think Revenge of the Sith.
I know which one you're talking about.
The blue dress with the I don't want to say armholes, but like the
cutoffs,
like
the off the shoulder.
yeah, the like cut off sleeves.
The cut off
thing.
shoulder. Cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Cold shoulder. That's what it's called.
Well, no, there's like.
Where it's like just the shoulder bits cut out.
Hold on.
Emma's just shaking her head at me. She's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. And I'm like, yes, it is.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the dress that they have for the picture.
Oh.
Where it's like cut off on the sleeves.
Not what I was thinking of. It looks like almost mummy bandages.
Yeah. Oh, this is literally the artwork from the book.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. But I love it so much. I'll have to find the Satine one and send it to you.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see if I can find it while
So,
we're still recording.
is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up and make our way into some fandom news?
I don't know. Oh, found the Satine one.
Oh, my love. She looks so sad.
I know. I don't know. Again, I'd like to talk more about these. I don't want to say more underrated women, but like not just like yeah, underrepresented is the word. Like I would love to do one just of like the Jedi Order, like the women of the Jedi Order.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
because we have like Dippa B'Elaba, and I don't want to say Barris, but Barris, and all of them.
And Yaddle?
And Yaddle. I don't know if Yaddle's in the
I
book.
don't think she is. There was a
think she
trivia question that I saw. Somebody asked, and they said how many of Yoda's species are known to exist? And everybody was like, oh, 2, Baby Yoda, Grogu, and Yoda. And they're like, no, there's 3. And I was like, I knew there was 3, because you got Grogu,
I did too.
Yaddle, and Yoda.
Yep.
I'm like, I know that's like a really common like thing that like most fans know, but I like that I know that.
Yeah. So shall we get into some of this fandom news? Because I feel like we're gonna rant a little bit about some of this stuff.
And there was a lot that came out. So, before we even start fandom news, I have some Gaby news.
Oh yeah, Gaby news. Are we doing Gaby news first, or
I say let's do it first because a lot of people tune out.
True.
A lot of people, this is where they leave us. So, I'm not gonna be like on the podcast super regularly these next few weeks.
for the next like next 2 months, right?
Yeah, about like 2-ish months. I'll pop in when I can. I will tell you the bits that I can tell you because I'm not allowed to talk too much about it yet. But I got cast in a theater production here at a pretty like big deal playhouse here in San Diego, and it's at the Coronado Playhouse. If you live here, it's a great show. I'm really excited, and so yeah, I'm in a show, and it's gonna take up a lot of time.
Yes.
I start rehearsals on Monday.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got the call Sunday night.
Wow.
Yeah, so we start on Monday.
Yeah, so I've already been reaching out to some of my friends, not just people that have already been on the show, but some new faces and new voices. So like, yeah.
So I'm gonna be popping in and out. I'll be around. I'll still post and I'll still like come on when I can.
Yeah.
But my schedule is gonna get super busy here, and I only have so much time in the week, and most of my days, so rehearsals are from 7 to 10, and I work at 8 a.m., and I have to be asleep by 11 if I want to be up by 6 to go to work at 8.
And we normally record 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, so, and I have rehearsal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so it's a lot.
And Fridays are usually busy for me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try my best to make some time maybe on Sundays if we have some time, but
Sundays usually
Emma's
work.
gonna have a lot of fun guests popping in, and they're gonna talk about a lot of different stuff.
I have so far a Kingdom Keepers episode written, a Narnia episode written, a Peter Pan one written with my good friend Tyler. I'm so excited for him to be on.
Best friend Tyler.
Oh, he's mad at me because I'm going to his workplace on Saturday when he's not working. He works at the Polynesian Resort, and Sean and I are, like, resort hopping for our 2-year anniversary.
Which is adorable.
And we're going to literally the restaurant that Tyler works at for our, like, lunch reservation.
That's hilarious.
On his, like, one day off.
I love that.
But it was because he told me he was working on Saturday, so I was like, I'm going to be
Saturday?
sneaky and, like, put this reservation
Yeah.
in.
He's like, just kidding, I'm not working on Saturday anymore.
And then he was calling it blasphemous. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
But then I'll have some more, maybe some Star Wars. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun stuff happening. Stick around. Like I said, I will be around, so I won't be gone. I'll just be busy. So,
Yes.
exciting news. I will post about the show when I can.
Because Phantom News and outro will be
Super
very
long.
long for me.
Okay, so getting into this fandom news.
Okay, so during our 3-week break off of recording, a lot of Phantom News has come out, so this is a highlight reel of the biggest news that's come out.
So,
Starting with probably the biggest news that came out literally on Monday of the week we're recording this.
which is the news about the revival of Funny Girl. So, Beanie Feldstein, who's currently portraying Fanny Bryce, she's going to leave. She's departing from the show on July 31st. And Jane Lynch, who is currently portraying Mrs. Bryce, will depart on September 25th. Stand by Julie Benko, who is amazing, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Will be leaving the production on September 4th. It was also announced this week that Emmy Award nominee Leah Michele will be portraying Fanny Bryce and Tova Feldsa as Mrs. Bryce starting on September 6th.
Yes. I think Jane Lynch may have announced that she's also leaving on September 4th with Stand By Julie Benko since me writing the notes.
I don't know.
But don't quote me on that.
All I know is that people are like, OMG, the tea. It's because she doesn't want to work with Leah Michele again.
Yeah, I saw that she, was leaving before Leah left. Or before Leah started.
Yeah. I mean, people are, making it tea. I don't think it is. I don't know. I just, I don't think Leah Michele offers anything new to the role.
I agree.
I think she's going to do
I don't really want to get into it because I was really annoyed with it on my car ride home with my boyfriend.
I think she's going to be an exact copy-paste of Barbra Streisand.
Yeah. My little bit that I was talking with Sean about was how Beanie Feldstein was bringing a new life to Fanny Bryce, because this is the first time this show's been on stage, on Broadway, since Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
Since Barbra Streisand played the role. And Barbra Streisand was a park and bark, where she was just
she had a great voice.
Stood there and sang.
Acting.
And dancing.
Yeah.
But Fanny Bryce is more dancing, acting than singing.
Agreed.
Which was bringing a new life to this role.
Plus, she was actually funny.
Yeah.
Not to say that Barbra Streisand wasn't funny, just that because
Beanie
it was
Feldstein is a comedic actress.
Yeah, she's a comedic actress. Leah Michele is a dramatic actress. She doesn't know how to do comedy unless it's bitchy, crazy theater girl.
Yeah.
I don't like Leah Michele either.
And I'm sorry, but we're going to get another Barbra Streisand kind of park and bark with Leah Michele. And it's going to annoy me.
I agree. So,
speaking of TV actors going to stage.
I know, what is this?
Though I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Star of the sitcom The Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons, who plays
Sheldon Cooper.
Sorry, what? Sheldon Cooper. He's going to lead the cast of Classic Stage Company's fall production of A Man of No Importance, portraying Alfie Byrne. The show will begin performances on October 11th with an opening night set for October 30th.
I think he'll be good in this role. I think this is very much a good role for him.
Too. I think so too. And I don't know. I've seen him do more things that weren't just Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Post him doing Big Bang Theory. He was in that Hidden Figures movie.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
He
was really good in that movie too. He was really good in that movie too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm excited for him to see that.
Yeah, I think it'll be
Like,
good.
to see what happens with that.
The next one has me kind of ticked off. Netflix has announced
I
that
know.
a stage play set within the world of Stranger Things is in the works. Don't like it. The new play will be set within, quote, the world and mythology of Stranger Things, end quote, and will be produced by Sonia Friedman, Stephen Daldry, and Netflix. Stephen Daldry will also direct the production. No, don't like it.
You have another Stranger Things fact coming up,
I know,
too.
and I haven't even seen the 3rd season, or the 4th season, or whatever we're on. I don't even know.
I've honestly, I'm first starting the show now. I'm on the 2nd season, like episode 5 right now. First time watch through ever.
You know what? I also wasn't too keen on the 3rd season of Umbrella Academy. I started it and I watched like maybe 4 episodes and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah. The Princess and the Frog reimagining of Splash Mountain was recently announced and it will be called Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it will be opening in late 2024.
I'm so excited for this. I think it's going to be adorable. Also,
I think so,
I saw
too.
somebody who said that like if when you're going up the main hill for the drop, if it's not
And it's the Are You Ready?
Yes!
Are you ready?
If it's not friends
Yeah.
on the other side with the Are You Ready? With the masks moving,
I'm excited for this.
I think there's a lot of creativity that can go into this. I think it's
Yes.
going to be very cool.
I'm interested because I have a friend right now that is one of the Splash Mountain attendants over in Magic Kingdom. I wonder if they're getting any comments from it, and I should ask her about if they're getting any comments about, do you guys know when you're shutting down for this and all that stuff?
Well, they don't know they don't know in California yet.
I don't think they know here yet, but I'm sure she gets comments every single day.
You know what else we need to know about? When we can freaking buy magic keys again? That'd be nice.
I know that annual passes went on sale a little bit.
Speaking of magic keys. Oh, I skipped one. Sorry. Speaking of Stranger Things. Netflix is developing a spin-off Stranger Things, and the new series will be based on an original idea from Matt and Ross Duffer, who were the twins who created Stranger Things, and there are no details on the story or characters yet. Again, This is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. We got to see what the story's going to be. Might be interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking of magic keys and Disney parks, let's talk about everybody's favorite Disney guy to hate.
So the Disney Board of Directors has voted to renew CEO Bob Chapek's contract, which I hate. I hate this so much. He's done nothing but like terrorize the Walt Disney World company.
He has made the parks a money-grabbing, ridiculous, elitist place.
So we finally got Mirabelle in, so I'm kind of happy. And we're getting, I think, on Saturday is the first day that Peter Pan will be able to meet and greet at Magic Kingdom again, and the world will be right for me.
I think Emma's gonna cry on Saturday.
I'm gonna be so mad because I'm not gonna be able to go in the parks because I don't have an annual pass. It's fine. Tyler said that he's gonna take me into the parks before summer ends for me.
So Bob Chapek, get your ish together. Get those magic keys out, otherwise people are gonna start freaking rioting.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of the parks, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique sets reopening dates for Magic Kingdom and Disneyland Park, and the reopening date is August 25th of 2022.
Which I'm so excited for kids. So, this next one I have opinions on. It also has to do with Magic Kingdom / Disney Springs / Walt Disney World over here. So the Bright Light High-Speed Railway Station, which was going to be part of the Sunrail, which is run by the Florida government, their station at Disney Springs has reportedly been canceled, which there's been a lot of things happening between the Florida government and Disney World that I'm not surprised that this is happening, but also
isn't it that the Florida government wants them to be back into Florida?
On the Republican side of
no, I thought it was
Florida
they
politics.
wanted them to not have own their own county. I thought they wanted them to reincorporate back
So
into
it
Florida.
started off with Disney World being like, we're no longer going to support Republican politicians in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Florida government like retaliated back, being like, we don't want you to be your own county anymore.
Ah.
And then Disney World just retaliated again with this bright light rail station thing.
So
I feel
by fighting, they're not accomplishing anything. And
No.
all they're doing is making the lives of the people miserable. Who could have predicted that?
exactly, which is why I'm kind of upset about it. But I understand why Disney's doing it at the same
But it's
time.
also on both sides. Like,
Yeah.
just figure it out. The whole point is like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be the most magical place on earth, and right now it's not feeling very magical, Bob Chapek.
No. Yeah.
Come on, Bob.
Which is why was he reinstated again?
They know how we
Board
feel.
of directors, why'd you freaking do this
Because
again?
of the money.
We'll get into more money things with my last little Phantom news that was just drama that just was brought
Anna sent me
into
like a
all the
10-minute
Liam
rant
Michelle
about
things.
this yesterday. I was at work too, so I was like listening to it, and it was like while I was like flipping through it in Snapchat.
No, it was on.
You texted me about it, and then you sent me a
Yeah.
Snapchat about you ranting about it, and I was like, I am at work.
No, I ranted about something else to you on Snapchat.
You ranted about me.
Not
You
this.
ranted about a lot of things.
I was babysitting for the past 36 hours.
You deserve that wine. Dig deeper into the behind-the-scenes magic with a new docu-series coming to Disney Plus, Light and Industrial Light and Magic, which will begin streaming on July 27th.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I fully did not.
I think
I don't
Emma's
know.
gonna explode.
So the Tony-nominated production of Paradise Square will be closing on this upcoming Sunday, July 17th of 2022. So in the past for y'all listening to it now. But recently, unions, it was Actors Equity Union, and there was another union involved. United Scenic Artists, Local USA 829, which is part of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, are taking the producers of the Broadway show Paradise Square to court for over $350,000 in unpaid benefits and wages.
Yeah.
Now, this producer has already been in jail for embezzling funds before.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's going back to jail, let's be honest,
Probably.
in this whole situation.
But here's the thing. It's white-collar jail.
True.
It's not the same.
True. I mean, he served, I think when I was looking it up yesterday, it was 5 years in Canadian prison.
Crooked people are always going to be crooked.
Yep. I don't know why he was allowed to do this again, but oh well.
People want to see the best in people, which is why you should live by crime junkie rules. You never truly know anybody ever. Rules to live by.
Yep.
Be weird, be rude, stay alive. Can you tell I've been listening to a lot of crime junkie?
Yes. So, shall we get into this outro?
Sure. So, this is going to be my last outro for a little while. Oh no, I'm so sad.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Fan Fatales. We are a proud part of the Real Fans Podcast
That's
Network.
right, and if you want to check out more shows on the network, you can find them at rf4rm.com.
Next week, Gabby will be gone, but I'm going to be on with our editor, Kara, to celebrate her birthday while discussing some Barbie movie classics.
Remember to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts.
And subscribe to us on YouTube.
Please leave us a review or comment down below to tell us what you thought of the show. And remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FanFatalesPod for the latest updates. Now, Emma, where can the people find you on social media?
So my Instagram and TikTok and Twitter are all at Snippy Emma, which is SNIPPYEMMA. What about you,
I'm
Gabs?
at Gaby Gent on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. That's GABYJENT.
Our editing is by the wonderful Carol
And as
Lensmeyer.
always, thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
The views expressed in this episode do not reflect